The Subaru Legacy, a powerful sedan from East Asia, specifically Japan. First things first, you need to tell me in the comments what year this model is from, or better yet, which generation this beauty belongs to. But anyway, we're about to run our usual tests plus that new test we saw in the previous video. So first up, I'm hitting it with the acceleration and braking tests. In the acceleration test, even though this car didn't have launch control, it managed to score an impressive 7.2 seconds. That's fantastic. For the braking test, since it doesn't have ABS, I'll cut it some slack, but it still managed a decent 44 meters, which for this car I'd say is excellent. Moving on to the suspension system test. This car is seriously soft. These old cars are ridiculously soft, and I honestly have no idea what they used to put in their springs back then. What do you think? Definitely let me know in the comments. On cobblestone roads, it was amazing. On other surfaces, absolutely smooth and buttery. The passengers inside feel nothing. And with all that said, let's hit some bumpy terrain, which could get a bit wild for this car. But I can't believe it. I just can't believe how soft this car is. Honestly, this car could be one of Japan's pride and joys. Let's try city speed bumps now. This car was literally made for the city. In my opinion, there's nothing left to say about the suspension tests. Full speed ahead to our handling tests. First, I tested this car at 58 kilometers per hour. It met my demands, so I pushed it to 62 kilometers per hour. At this speed, the car still managed to pass the course. Unbelievably, I cranked it up to 65 kilometers per hour. I tested it several times and unfortunately couldn't pass it on the first or second try. But on the third attempt, I managed to complete the test. So we're recording 65 kilometers per hour for this car. You must tell me in the comments, is 65 kilometers per hour worthy, or should I have pushed it harder? After this interesting test, let's move on to our crash tests, starting with the pillar strength and rollover tests. For the pillar strength test, we're putting the car under the crusher to see what force it can handle, or should I say, what force the car's pillars can withstand. For this test, the car managed about 35,000 newtons, which is 3.5 tons. This number is phenomenal and totally acceptable. Why? Because this car is from a really old era. You didn't forget to tell me in the comments what year this model is from, right? Taking the car to the roll bar for the rollover test. This one annoyed me a bit getting it up on the roll bar, but with a little cheating, I finally got it in position and started the test. And yes, as you can see, the car's performance was genuinely excellent. I have zero complaints. If you see any issues, tell me in the comments. And don't pay attention to this hand here. Just ignore it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, let's move on to the main crash tests, where I have some expectations from this car. Before we start the main crash tests, don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me how many safety stars you think this car can earn from our crash tests. Starting with the head-on collision test. This test is genuinely brutal, and our car couldn't show great performance. But since this is truly a tough test, I won't be too hard on it, and I'll give it another chance in the next test, the rear trailer collision. Here, the car met my expectations. Performance was good. I can't find any major flaws in this test. Moving to the side trailer collision test. This one could be fate deciding. Imagine you're on the highway and this happens. This is where the car shows its true colors. Honestly, in this test, the car thrilled me, even though this is a new test. By the way, if you have any new test ideas, definitely drop them in the comments so I can do them. Next test, the 40% frontal offset crash. Here, the car showed relatively decent performance. Let's be honest here, the car's a bit old and we shouldn't expect new car standards from it. So let's move to the 100% full frontal crash. The car showed relatively better performance compared to the previous test, and this is pretty normal and acceptable. Oh, and you didn't forget that you need to rate this car's crash tests, right? Don't forget. Moving to the rear crash test. Here, the car shows really good performance. The rear passengers, I can say, managed to survive somewhat, but their necks took a seriously bad hit. The lack of headrests in the rear seats is definitely one of this car's weaknesses, although I think in the real version, this car actually has these cushions, but in this modded version, it probably doesn't. But anyway, let's hit the side collision test, an extremely tough and difficult test. the car showed approximately bad performance here. You can share your opinion in the comments. Was its performance relatively good or not? In my opinion, the performance wasn't very impressive, and from the interior view, we can see the passengers aren't happy about it either. So, give it your rating. Until the next video, goodbye for now.